Before I start rambling about anything, I want it to be known that I in fact did not play the Enhanced Trilogy, nor am I planning to. I am simply covering the whole remaster situation based on what I've seen, read, and heard. And remember that people are entitled to their own opinions, and this video contains statements that might offend you. So if you can't stand the fact that not everyone shares the same opinions as you, please click off this video. For those willing to stay, I said come in, don't stand there. I have been contemplating making this video. Even as of writing the script, I am aware that this is gonna be hella controversial, knowing how patriotic Stalker fans get when it comes to defending their game from any sort of criticism. For those unaware, around 2 days ago, GSC dropped the Legends of the Zone Trilogy Enhanced Edition, and that may or may not have caused mayhem in the Stalker community. So, before we discuss the drama, let's first understand the premise of the Enhanced Edition. The Enhanced Edition is a supposed remaster of the first 3 Stalker games with several bug fixes, visual enhancements, and workshop support. Why is the last bit in quotes? We'll get to that very soon. Owners of the Stalker games will receive the enhanced versions as free updates, so at least they're not asking us for more money. GSC dropped this absolute bomb recently and it completely polarized the community, leaving some to question whether or not this is a late April's Fool's joke by GSC, and some glazing the shit out of it. So, what is wrong about this seemingly promising remaster? I'm glad you asked. Well, let's address the elephant in the room, the content. To put it short, the re-release did nothing to elevate the game, besides adding controller support, achievements, and upscaled UI. And that's about where the good things end. Now, let's talk about its shortcomings, and oh boy, where do I begin? First off, all the bugs from the older versions have been left untouched, with probably even more present, because you cannot have a stable GSC release in the zone. I've seen some people straight up failing to install and/or launch the game. Second, for being an Enhanced Edition, you'd expect the visuals to look actually good, but it does the complete opposite. From what I've read in the reviews, the game looks disgustingly blurry and unappealing. Several players mentioned that no matter how much they fiddled with the game settings, the game wouldn't stop looking as if Vaseline was rubbed on their screen. Moreover, the games now, for some godforsaken reason, cost more than the original games, all while requiring a stronger rig and larger file sizes. And while 8 gigs of RAM and a GTX 960 is nowhere near a high-end rig and the brokest of people have something better, it makes you scratch your head over the sudden change in the system requirements. For comparison, here's the original minimum system requirements for Shadow of Chernobyl versus the Enhanced Edition. Now about the Steam Workshop. I've seen multiples get hyped over the fact that Stalker is finally gonna have workshop support, and this is right, up to a certain extent. And while yes, you can mod the game with a workshop, GSC heavily restricted modding of the game. Now, mods can only change existing game assets, whether it be textures, sounds, and so on and so forth, all except scripts. Those are a no-no. So it ends up being a next to useless feature, as bug-fixing mods like ZRP and SRP won't be available for it. And as of writing this script, there are currently a whopping 4 workshop items. And now for our absolute favorite part, the political debacle. For the fucking record, let it be known that I take no goddamn side in this whole Russo-Ukrainian war. I simply could not care less about the current geopolitical situation in the world, and there's that. I am looking at this from an unbiased perspective that lacks favoritism towards either side. I won't be going over the current situation of the war, but let's just say that it resulted in massive mutual hatred between Russians and Ukrainians. This can be observed in GSC using the Ukrainian word for Chernobyl for the title of the console part of the first game instead of the Russian one. It's an act of defiance against Russian oppression, whom retaliated by punishing the owning of the Ukrainian-made game Stalker 2 with jail time. Furthermore, GSC removed the Russian voice acting of the game. To a certain extent, while yes, the cutscenes are now in Ukrainian, the NPCs still speak Russian without a care in the world. Like no shit, this game was originally written and narrated in Russian. Yet, the most egregious flaw in this Enhanced Edition is its blatant censorship and erasure of history. The game outright removed some notable Soviet signs and landmarks from the game simply for their association with the Russian regime. This move was uncalled for. While these changes might seem insignificant on the surface, these details that they omitted were crucial for the game's world building, helping fortify the gritty feeling of the post-collapse atmosphere and decayed reality. Its existence in the game world helped solidify immersion, as their presence wasn't glorification, it was a reflection of a bygone era. Erasing them does nothing to address the real-world conflicts, and it only weakens the game's authenticity. Also, GSC allegedly renamed Pripyat and Agroprom to Ukrainian City and Akhroprom respectively, but I cannot confirm nor deny that as I did not see it for myself. But if it's true, then it's another baffling act of revisionism that sacrifices artistic integrity for hollow political posturing. This entire debacle only proves GSC's incompetence and shameless cash grab mentality. Calling this a re-release is generous, let alone a remaster. It's a slap in the face to die-hard Stalker fans, made even worse by the delisting of the original games from Steam. So, if you want to play the classic PC versions, then tough shit. Pay more for an inferior product with no meaningful improvements to warrant the title of an Enhanced Edition. Now, shitting on this version of the game might be a little too harsh. The game might improve in the future, but it has to be said. The Enhanced Edition will go down in history as one of, if not the worst remaster in gaming. In fact, it is so bad that it might as well be Ukraine's worst disaster since 1986. You know, the joke was so fucking bad I should kill myself. I have very little to say as a conclusion. The Enhanced Edition is more or less GSC throwing a reshade preset in the game and shipping it to the public. It's a low effort attempt at garnering approval from the community for still caring about their older games. In the meantime, ModDB will still reign supreme. The community has done a better job remastering the games than the actual developers, and honestly, the war is no longer a valid excuse for their laziness. I believe that people should not keep quiet about the Enhanced Edition and shall not settle for less. After all, the zone may change, but fan standards should not. Thank you for watching, and most importantly, don't forget to call me a Russian bot in the comments. I will be awaiting my demonetization with anticipation. Bonus points if you cite the Soviet landmarks I defended as proof of my Kremlin payroll. This has been Captain Vityaz, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.